We're going to talk about inverse trig functions, and actually before we do anything, I'd like to give you a warm-up. So I'd like you to evaluate these using the unit circle. Please pause the video and do it. So cosine of 5 pi over 6, if you look right over here, that's 5 pi over 6. Cosine of that value is your x value, so it's going to be negative radical 3 over 2. For sine of negative pi over 4, keep in mind that if we have a negative angle value, that means we're going to go in the clockwise direction. Negative pi over 4 is right here at where 7 pi over 4 is. The sine is the y value, so it's going to be negative radical 2 over 2. Tangent of radical 3, remember tangent is either you can think of it as y over x or you can think of it as sine over cosine. So it's going to end up being radical 3 over 2 over 1/2. And if you simplify that out, you should hopefully get radical 3. So now that we talked about that, let's go through what the inverse sine function is like. So an inverse sine, I'll give you the general definition and then we'll do some examples. So here is the mathematical definition. So we say that that theta is equal to inverse sine of A if sine of theta is equal to A. So basically it's just kind of swapping things around. And I do want you to note that this is not the same as 1 over sine. So if you see an inverse sine button on your calculator, if you see sine -1, that's not the same as cosecant, which is 1 over sine. So just make sure of that. I think I've said that before, but it doesn't hurt to continue saying that again and again because a lot of people make a mistake on that. The other thing is that, so this is inverse sine. We also write this as, this is an alternative way to write it. We also write it as arc sine. So this is the exact same thing. We just have two different ways of writing it. I think some people like to write it with arc sine because it doesn't confuse people with cosecant, because the inverse sine does tend to look like cosecant. So either of these is an okay way to write it. I'm going to probably give you problems that involve both. So just know that they're the same thing. Okay, so little note. And my note is that in this case, your answer value is always going to be between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. So that's for inverse sine. So for these examples, we are going to be evaluating the inverses. And remember that usually we take the sine of an angle, but when we take the inverse sine, that means that our answer is an angle. So our answers will be our angle measurements. And people tend to get confused about, there's just a lot of little things going on here. So your answers are going to be an angle measurement. So basically what we're looking for is we're looking for the theta. You can even write that as equal to theta. What we want to know is where is sine equal to radical 3 over 2. So if you look at your unit circle, first of all, I want you to notice that sine is our y. And the other thing I want you to notice is that it equals to radical 3 over 2 actually in two places. That is, you might be thinking that there might be two answers, but actually if you remember back on the previous slide, we had something that said that sine was always between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. So my inverse sine function is always going to have an answer in these parts of the unit circle. So I recommend that if you have a unit circle that you keep with you, you just kind of highlight that on there. We'll do the tangent and cosine in just a minute or two. So, okay, back to this problem. So we're looking to see where in this domain that I have here is the angle equal to, is the sine of the angle equal to radical 3 over 2. It does occur at pi over 3, so that's going to be my answer. Okay, so for number 2, remember we're still looking in that same domain. We want to know where is sine -1. And actually there's only one place on the entire unit circle that occurs. It's going to be here. However, be careful before you say before you say 3 pi over 2, because we actually mentioned previously that our theta for sine was between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. So just be aware of that. So my answer is not going to be 3 pi over 2, it's going to be negative pi over 2. So there's two more things that you're going to have to know, and that's going to be the inverse cosine and the inverse tangent. They're pretty much the same idea as inverse sine. We will do some examples, though, just to make sure that you kind of get them. For my inverse cosine, I do want you to notice that the domain of the inverse cosine is actually going to be between 0 and pi. So if you want to highlight it on your unit circle, it's going to be in that area right there. So this is my inverse cosine. For my tangent, it actually is the same domain as sine, so it's going to be in this area right here. So I do recommend that you somehow show that. I think when you're first learning these, it's helpful to have a visual. So I'd like to do some examples with cosine and tangent, inverse cosine and inverse tangent. So inverse cosine of 0 is the first one. Basically what we're looking for the angle theta, where cosine is 0. Remember, cosine is along this little part of the unit circle right there. So my cosine is my x value. The only place that occurs in that area of the unit circle is going to be at pi over 2, and that's actually my answer. So then the next one, I have arc cosine of negative radical 2 over 2. That occurs right here and right here, but again, we are only looking at values between 0 and 180 degrees, or 0 and pi. So that is going to happen at the angle of 3 pi over 4. Okay, so then 5 and 6, the arc tangent and the inverse tangent, those ones are a little bit harder. We are looking for the angle where tangent is equal to -1. Keep in mind that tangent is y over x. So if we look at our unit circle values, we want to figure out where is y over x. If you divide them, where will that equal 1? So if you can go around, you can see that, okay, it happens a few times. So it's going to happen when your x and y values are the same value but opposite signs, so that happens right here. At 5 pi over 4, that doesn't happen. That gives me a positive 1. It happens at 7 pi over 4 also. So actually, those are the only two values. Now, remember, tangent has the same domain as sine for when you have inverse tangent. So we're going to have our theta value between negative pi over 2 and positive pi over 2. So this value right here is going to be what we want. However, we're going to write it as negative pi over 4. All right, last one, number 6. Again, we're looking to figure out where is y over x on the unit circle equal to 0. And that's going to occur anytime you have a y value of 0. So that occurs at 0 degrees or 0 radians, and that occurs at pi or 180. But the 0 is the only one that we actually want, so that's answer is going to be 0. I'd like to do 3 examples that illustrate properties of trig functions, inverse trig functions. For number 7, there's actually a super short and easy way to do it. I'll show you the longer way, and then you can probably figure out the short way. So inverse cosine of radical 3 over 2, remember this is an angle theta. Inverse cosine of radical 3 over 2 is going to end up being, at this point right here, I get cosine of pi over 6. Actually, cosine of pi over 6 is radical 3 over 2. So you'll probably notice that that's what we started with. So a cosine of an inverse cosine gives you what you started with. Number 8, this is a really, really similar thing. There is going to be one caveat that we're going to have in just a second. But for 8, if you do tangent of pi over 4, which we have right here, you end up getting 1. Arctangent of 1 is actually going to just be pi over 4. It's what we started with. So you're good on that one. Now, for number 9, this one's a little bit different. So we're going to do arctangent of tangent of 7 pi over 4. 7 pi over 4 is right down on this part of the unit circle. If you evaluate that, you get -1. Now, my answer is not 7 pi over 4. My answer is negative pi over 4. So actually, you can use the properties of inverses knowing that like an inverse function undoes a regular function and vice versa. For these types of things, the only issue is going to come up is if you try to use that property and get 7 pi over 4. That's not in the domain of arctangent, so you're not allowed to do that. You would have to find a coterminal angle. And you actually could find a coterminal angle by doing 7 pi over 4 minus 2 pi, which gives you negative pi over 4. Okay, we have one more example, and this involves, this one, unfortunately, there's no shortcut for it. So let's say I have arc cosine of negative radical 2 over 2. Keep in mind that this stuff inside of the parentheses is going to be an angle. So arc cosine of negative radical 2 over 2 is going to be this value right here. That is going to be 3 pi over 4. Now I have sine of 3 pi over 4. By the way, it's okay that I have a 3 pi over 4 here, even though it's not in the domain of inverse sine. We don't have an inverse sine, we have a regular sine. So sine of 3 pi over 4 is just going to be radical 2 over 2.